Test one, two, test one, two. Yes, yes. The Casanovians. Alright, lads. Let's go balls deep in this stream. I feel like I'm on godly frequency right now, so I want to immortalize these emotions into a piece of content. And hopefully this stream will piss a lot of people off. Hopefully it will cause a lot of people to unsubscribe from me because I don't want the wrong people to be following my content, right? I don't want to be associated with these low-life, low-value losers who seem to gravitate towards cold approach like moths to a flame or flies to a piece of shit. I wanted to put this stream together because I wanted to talk about how to dominate the dating game in 2026. And in this stream, I'm really speaking to the type of guy that I'm looking to attract into my private network, the Entourage. Okay? So, if you don't know who I am, you don't know what the Entourage is, the Entourage is my private network for entrepreneurs, business owners, ambitious world builders. Yeah, if you consider yourself a world builder, a creative, an ambitious entrepreneur who you probably don't just resonate with my content for the cold approach, you probably resonate with me across multiple dimensions. So you might be watching this and you are an entrepreneur, or maybe you're an aspiring entrepreneur. Maybe you've got wild ambitions for your life. Yeah, you want to travel the world. You want to build cool and interesting things. You want to connect with guys who push you and won't allow you to lie to yourself. But you also understand that what we're building in the Entourage, at the core of everything we do, is daytime cold approach. Yeah, for us, daytime cold approach is the most aggressive form of self-development. Yeah, and the main focus of the Entourage is getting our guys to such an elite level at cold approach that dating is no longer an issue anymore. Okay, but the problem that you'll find in this space of cold approach is it attracts a lot of retards, right? It attracts a lot of retarded, low-value basement dwellers. And I talk about this a lot because it's an important repulsion mechanism, right? Because I don't want people who are following my content who are looking for cheat codes, yeah, 5 easy ways to get any woman into bed. You cannot be a loser in 2026 and expect to get results, so conversations that convert into dates and beyond. You cannot expect to get these type of results from cold approach in 2026. And I'm not making these live streams to make friends. I'm making these live streams because I want you, who is watching, to be rip-roaringly successful. But also, you need to understand that just learning cold approach is not going to do anything for your dating life if you don't have the rest of your life in order. Yeah, there's so many bullshit charlatans online who are trying to peddle these low-value, low-ticket courses. Oh, $27, I'll teach you to get women into bed. I'll teach you how to get hot and beautiful women. Even if you're a loser, even if you're a fat fuck, even if you've got terrible mental hygiene. The thing that I need you to really install in the stuff that I put out there is daytime cold approach, especially in 2026, is going to be a hyperbolizer, meaning that it will exaggerate your current character. So if you're like the guys who I work with, you are ambitious, you are working on yourself, you're building something interesting, you are devoting your life to a purpose, to a mission. For you, it's not just about getting laid, right? It goes so much deeper than just attracting higher quality women. This is a way of being. Yeah, this is a reactionary movement against a society that wants to keep you shackled. If you look at the state of the world right now, everybody's scared. Everybody is a digital slave. Everybody is too terrified to initiate in-person conversations with strangers. And this is why I see daytime cold approach as the decentralized skill set of the awake 1%. I think in 2026, the slowly forgotten art of that face-to-face communication is going to get eroded. But I think the guys who have unlocked this skill and who've unlocked the skill to an elite level are going to dominate the dating game. Not just on the streets. This is where so many guys get this wrong. Call approach is simply starting conversations with women who you don't know. Right? That's all it is. It's just starting conversations with women who you don't know with the intention to begin a romantic relationship. So many guys fall into the trap of thinking it has to be on the streets. It has to be 2 p.m. on Oxford Street, accusing every woman of being French. No, it's not that. Right? Street approaching, that's where you learn the skill, right? You learn the skill on the streets. This is how you unlock the skill of cold approach at the start, okay? You do 100 daytime cold approaches. But here's the problem. The reason why, and this will piss a lot of people off as well, most guys trying to learn cold approach right now will fail, right? They will waste so many months and years of their lives trying to learn a skill that they were never going to get. Okay, and the reason for this is because most men take far too long to get their first 100 approaches done. But even the guys who do 100 cold approaches, the reason why the majority of these guys fail is because they don't know what they don't know, right? There is a difference between an approach and a quality conscious approach, right? The thing that holds so many guys back is not just it takes so much time for them to do these first 100 approaches. It's a lack of pressure, right? It's a lack of feedback. It's a lack of accountability. It's kind of like going to the gym and practicing bad form, right? At some point, you're going to get an injury. So my vision for what I'm doing with my channel, my social media presence is I am in the process of monopolizing this entire cold approach space because I know there is no competition, right? My quote unquote competition, they're all brain dead morons, right? They don't have the vision that I've got for what this is, okay? Before I started cold approach, nobody put any emphasis on community, on network, on support of like-minded individuals. It was all, oh, do this weekend boot camp, maybe you'll get results, maybe you won't. No, those days are dead, right? Being this low-life, low-value loser who's running around the streets accusing women of being French and having nothing else going on in your life, those days are completely dead. So what I'm doing now is the vision that I've got for the entourage is really, we want to be attracting the best of the best, yeah? Guys who've got ambition, guys who are visionaries, guys who are creative, guys who are doing well, but they want to be pushed to a higher level. And what we're doing with our coaching right now, we did this recently with one of our entourage members, Rentaro. So what I just said to you then, the reason why so many guys fail with cold approach is they lack pressure, okay? Pressure is what creates success. Imagine you were a boxer, and imagine you were just shadow boxing in your bedroom and nobody knew that you were a boxer. You wouldn't do anything, right? But the day when you have your first fight scheduled, that's when you're locked in. That's when you've burnt the boats. You've got accountability. You've got consequences. So what we did recently with one of our entourage members, Rentaro, is Rentaro joined the entourage. Within 2 weeks of joining the entourage, he'd already been on 3 dates with 3 different women. And this was a guy who 6 weeks prior to joining, his dating life was essentially over, right? The woman that he was about to get married to, the engagement fell off. His dating life crumbled right in front of him. He was at rock bottom. Joined the entourage. A couple of weeks later, multiple dates, restored his confidence in himself. Hadn't even had any in-person coaching yet. And then recently, what happened is my head coach in the entourage, Daniel, went over to deliver 3 days of one-on-one in-person coaching to Rentaro in his home city, right? So Rentaro got pushed into over 100 daytime approaches in just 3 days. And what this does, like, if you can understand the value of what we're providing now, nobody else in this whole space can do this. I send my head coach to your home city, right? Imagine, my head coach goes to your home city, so there's no excuses, you've burnt the boats right now. Daniel is with you for 3 days, pushes you into over 100 cold approaches, so action becomes your default operating mechanism. And then he films all of the approaches, captures everything on camera, The footage gets sent over to me where I give my detailed feedback. So you get coaching from Daniel, in person, individually tailored feedback after every single approach. He records your approaches. I then give you my feedback on your approaches. And you're then part of the entourage, which means you don't just get coaching from me, you don't just get coaching from Daniel, you are effectively getting 30 different coaching experiences because everybody in the entourage has been trained by me. They've all followed the same system. This is why we get the best client results in the entire industry, because proximity is power, right? You become the average of the 5 people, not who you spend time with, but who you compare yourself to. First link below this video, it's not a apply to work with me link. I only want people to come forward to apply to work with me when they've already been indoctrinated by the content. I want you to have made that decision ahead of time that you already understand who I am. You already understand what I do. You don't need convincing at this point. So what I've done, rather than having a book a call with me link, go over to my testimonials page. You'll be able to see real guys who are getting real results by being associated with me and the entourage. Gobble those up. Let them soak in to your system, because I think at the moment we live in what would be called a trust recession, right? Every man and his dog these days claims to be a dating coach, but over these past 5 years, I've built so much proof and so much undeniable credibility of me coaching my guys, showing my entire process from the past 5 years, showing the wins, showing the rejection, showing the losses. It's now undeniable that I am the best in the world at what I do, because evidence has got the loudest voice, right? So if you don't have pressure to perform, you'll never make it with cold approach. I don't just mean pressure to get yourself into approaches. What I was saying to you before about cold approach being a hyperbolizer, because something like daytime cold approach is unorthodox in Western culture, then if you are this fat fuck who's got nothing going on in his life, working down the local Tesco Express, not got 2 pennies to rub together, maybe you fuck ugly, maybe you've got terrible blotchy skin, like if you're not taking care to take care, and you're following this outdated paradigm of, well, I can be a loser, but I read the game, that means I can get results now, you're going to be fucked, right? In 2026, if you don't have your life in order, the best advice I would give to you is, for fuck's sake, do not cold approach, yeah? You need to get to a level where you've become the version of yourself who cold approach can work for. Watch the content on my channel, right? You don't need to buy anything from me, because quite frankly, I've got nothing to sell you. If you're a low-life loser who's overweight, you look like shit. Like, I was a magician for 10 years, but even I can't fix you, right? You need to get to a level. I'm not saying you don't need to be like, coming off the front cover of Men's Health. You don't need to look like you've come off Paris Fashion Week, but you need to have the basics in check, dude, right? I get so many DMs on Instagram now because I've got a new profile, and guys will be sending me DMs like, "Hi Christian, how do I get beautiful women?" And I look at the profile and they look like shit. Their profile is terrible. Their profile is actively repelling women. It's like random mirror selfies or them with a picture of some basset hound which looks better than they do. I'm like, motherfucker, what don't you understand? Like, something that I've learned is common sense is not common practice for the common man, right? But in these live streams, I'm not speaking to these low-life retards who seems to think that, oh, I can just be part of this low-value Telegram group, I can learn theory and I'll get results. No, motherfucker, you won't. And I'm the only person who'll tell you this, right? Other people will be like, yeah, buy my course, dude. Get into my $50 a month school community. Oh, that'll get you results. On to the next client. That's why we don't do group coaching bollocks, because you're an individual. Everybody's got their own individual struggles, right? We're all operating on our own timeline. But the reason why I'm going to dominate this space, or continue to dominate this space, 2026 and beyond, is because I've made this experience so good, it's impossible for our guys not to succeed. It's one-on-one, in-person coaching, which can be delivered in your home city. You don't even have to fucking travel. Everything gets captured on camera, sent over to me for detailed analysis. And then you become part of the entourage for at least 1 year, where you're surrounded by guys who are positively brainwashing you on a daily basis, but also guys who used to be shit as well. This is the beautiful part about the entourage. Even though the entourage is filled with entrepreneurs, YouTubers, one of our guys was an actor in Hollywood. We've got another guy that was a screenwriter in Hollywood. Like, we've got high-level dudes in the entourage, but the beautiful thing is everybody started off as shit. right? Everybody started off as the proverbial white belt. Everybody started out with the same anxieties, the same excuses, the same self-limiting beliefs. But like one of our Entourage guys, Joseph, once said, this is not a solo sport. It's a team sport and it's an extreme sport. Okay, being the solo operator, the lone wolf who's going out every weekend doing your 10 sets, dude, it's fucking dead. It's weird. It's creepy to just be this lone wolf, this solo player who's hitting the pavements, going home, talking to nobody about it. Like, this is not the future. The old way of doing things is dead. You want to find ways to make cold approach so fun, it's impossible for you to be inconsistent, okay? But I fell into this trap when I first started learning cold approach. I was always of the mindset that you had to be this puritanical day gamer. If you introduce wingmen or community, then it was somehow cheating. And all of this stuff, it brainwashes guys, right? It's like trying to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu by watching YouTube videos and rolling around with a pillow on your kitchen floor, convincing yourself you're making progress, or sniffing a condom wrapper, expecting to lose your virginity. Free videos are great to get started. I started out solo in Leeds. I was hitting the pavement, but dude, like, the version of me 5 years ago, I was a broke, low-life loser. I was a porn addict. I had erectile dysfunction. I was like the lowest of the low, right? So if you look at me 5 years ago, this is what I'm talking about. Like, the version of me 5 years ago, I would have looked at that version of myself now and been like, dude, you've got a lot more work to do, right? You've got a lot more work to do before girls start taking you seriously. I think this is just what it doesn't get spoke about enough in this space. These days of being this low-life loser, they're completely gone, okay? You need to be building value in your life. You need to be a man who women actually want to see again. Like, why would a woman choose to fuck you, right? Out of all the options that she's got, because here's something that'll piss you off as well. Just learning cold approach is not enough, right? A lot of guys fall into this fallacy where they think that they can be average in all other areas, but oh, I've got this thing. I've got this gimmick of daytime cold approach, and they think that just approaching is going to solve all their dating problems. It's like, dude, the approach is the easy part. Like, anybody can walk over to a woman and give her a compliment. Really, the game is played in, can you build investment? Can you give her a compelling reason to want to come on a date with you? Is it a case of you're not attractive, or are you just not building enough investment in the conversations? Are your conversations going on for long enough? What are you inviting these women into? Do you have a compelling lifestyle? Do you have a compelling Instagram profile which can function as a landing page and do a lot of the conversion without you even being there? Like, a lot of these things, they need to be dialed in. This is why feedback is so crucial. Like, one approach with me and my coaching team is worth around 30 approaches on your own, because you don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you can't see. Again, it's like going to the gym and practicing bad form. Guys convince themselves, oh, I'm taking action, I'm making progress. And it's like, how many dates have you been on this week, dude? Like, just no bullshit. Like, how many dates have you been on? Because after a while, once you've done those first 100 approaches, right? Once you've got over that initial resistance, once you don't have the whole approach anxiety, when you realize approach anxiety was never real, you just lacked practice. After you've got those first 100 approaches out the way, it does start to become about, right, what are the results looking like here? It's like taking sales calls, right? If you've got a 0% close rate, then something is going dangerously wrong, right? If you're putting yourself out there every single week and you're a busy guy with shit to do, then there are reasons why your cold approaches are not converting into dates and beyond. And for fuck's sake, don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh, one more approach, one more session, that'll fix everything, right? It was Hormozy that was like, if you've learned something properly, it's same conditions, different behavior, right? Guys fall into this trap where all they're doing is just going out and repeating the same mistakes, right? So it's like, oh yeah, I'm going out, I'm doing my approaches. But it's not about counting your approaches after the first 100. It's about making your approaches count, yeah? Because if you don't know where you're fucking up, then all you're gonna do is repeat the same bad habits over and over again, and then you'll fall into the trap of saying to yourself, cold approach doesn't work, yeah? It's not cold approach doesn't work, dude. You don't work, right? That's the problem, yeah? The problem is you've not yet become the version of yourself who cold approach can work for, and this might be an external shift. You might need to dress better. You might need to lose some weight. You might need to look into, right, what is the color and the fit that looks good on me? Maybe if you're a guy who is older, maybe you need to take care more of your diet or your sleep schedule if you're working a busy job. Maybe your conversation skills are not polarizing enough. Maybe you're pleasant, you're not platonic. Maybe you still have sexual shame that you're unknowingly carrying into your conversations. If you're just using WhatsApp and you don't have an Instagram page, one of the biggest reasons why women flake is because of a lack of social proof, a lack of safety, and also putting it out there as well. Status, right? Status fucking sells. I don't care what anybody says. In 2026, when people are on their phones, the status you've got online, it does matter. More on the back end side of things. And what I mean by that is, I'm building my new Instagram page at the moment. So maybe 11 days ago, I had around 80 followers, right? It's like 2 weeks ago. Now I've got over 1,000 followers. One of the reasons why I wanted to invest heavily into my Instagram profile was because of the status attached to it. Okay, because if I want to attract higher level guys, if I want to attract higher level opportunities, for example, if I want to be on the Joe Rogan podcast, if I want to be taken more seriously, then the level of status, the level of followers, it doesn't matter, right? And girls do notice this, right? If you imagine, right? Just imagine, right? Imagine you're a guy and you're well put together, and let's say you approach a girl and the conversation's going well, and let's say she takes your Instagram. Let's imagine that you've got 70 followers, right? Let's imagine you've got 70 followers. That's going to work against you. It just is. But now imagine girl takes your Instagram and you've got 10,000 followers, right? There's no getting around this, and you can say everything, like you can give the bullshit of like, oh yeah, but I don't want those girls, whatever. Like, this is wired into us, right? If somebody goes over to my Instagram page right now, they'll be like, 1,000 followers, that's not many. Like, my YouTube's got 14K. But listen to this. The moment when my IG page is on 10K followers, 50K followers, 100K followers, people take you more seriously because it's like, oh, this guy's built something. There's status here, right? So I'm not saying you need to become a social media celebrity, but I really do think, and this is probably a very narrow part of my audience, but if you are in any way inspired to make content online and maybe even make a business out of content, bro, this is like, it's untapped potential here. Like, I've helped guys in the entourage build their own YouTube channels. Like, I've taken guys who were working jobs that they did not like, I installed my content strategy into them, and now they're making way more cash. They're traveling the world, they've left their jobs, they're doing YouTube and content full time. So when guys get around me, it's not just call approach that they learn from, it's, oh, how can I build a business online? How can I create compelling content that sells? How do I become a influence in a niche? Yeah, how can I leave my job? How can I think bigger? How can I start training martial arts? How can I build more romantic options? Like, this is the thing, dude, right? In 2026, the guys who are going to dominate the dating game are the guys who are not playing small anymore. Yeah, this is the way that I see it. Becoming the most fuckable version of yourself. So this means just maxing out every area of your life. Once you are actively, and it's important to make this distinction, it's okay right now if you're not the finished product. I'm far from being the finished product. I've still got a fuckload more work to do. But if there's one thing I can say to myself is the person I am now compared to who I was 5 years ago, I am honestly proud of the person that I've become. Right? So fucking proud of the decision that I made 5 years ago to just say enough was enough. Yeah, and the way that I started it, if this is somewhat useful, was with a personal renaissance document, right? So what I did 5 years ago was I knew I wasn't the guy right now. But what I did was I had delusional optimism on who I could be. So the first step that I take my clients through is the revelation phase. So in this phase, we work out who you are right now, what's holding you back. So what do you believe to be true about the world that isn't? What do you believe to be true about yourself that isn't? What do you believe to be true about women that isn't? We work out what's holding you back, right? And you understand through the consumption of my content and by working with me as well is this whole thing of confidence, it's not something you build, it's something you uncover. What do we always say? Every guy has already got a six-pack. It's just buried underneath a layer of fat. Your confidence is already there, okay? You weren't born to be afraid. All of these fears, they were conditioned into you, right? The school system taught you that if you got a question wrong, you were stupid. Your parents probably told you, don't disturb anybody, stranger danger. Modern society has kept you as a static spectator in your own life. Oh, be a good boy, work your 9 to 5, don't question anything, ask for permission when you're allowed to go for a shit. And it's no wonder why you struggle with dating. It's because you don't have dating problems. You've got personal problems that become dating problems. And this is the process that our clients go through. It's not, hey, learn these 5 easy tricks to get any woman into bed. It's no, the version of yourself who you are right now, you have the capacity to live an incredible dating life. Everything you need is already there. It's just buried beneath the mask, the compliance, the sedation, the fear, the mask that you wear that you call you. It's not you, dude, right? It's not you. And this is what the first stage is about. So what I would say is create a personal renaissance document. This is where you write about yourself in the third person as though you've already achieved the transformation that you aspire to. If you download my free course, it's called My Most Fuckable Man course. I lay out the 3-step process in there. But really the point of this is to fall in love with your future, to fall in love with an idea of yourself. Because when people say believe in yourself, you probably can't do that right now. If you're anything like I was 5 years ago, if somebody said to me 5 years ago, Christian, believe in yourself, I would have been like, motherfucker, I've got nothing to believe in. It's not about belief at the start, it's about behavior. Because once you start making your actions align with your ambitions, you recognize belief follows action, right? You're not gonna think your way into a confident state. In the same way, you're not going to think your way into getting a six-pack, but your confidence is already there in the same way that your abs are already there. But that first stage of falling in love with your future, and dude, this is not woo-woo law of attraction bollocks. I am a practical man. I like practical solutions. I work with practical people. But think about it this way, right? Imagine you wanted to go on a holiday to Hawaii, okay? And imagine you got to the airport and you didn't look at the terminal or the gate. Imagine you didn't even look at the plane you were on and you just sat on some random plane and hoped you would get to Hawaii, right? It's the same thing with the direction you've got for your life. Yeah, you need to have a destination. You need to know where you're going, and you need a vehicle that is headed in that direction to get you there. So all this, it's like, the law of attraction. It's not the law of attraction. It's the law of action. Okay? Because once you've got a crystal clear idea of the man who you want to be, you then just reverse engineer it because you understand you are what you pretend to be. It's not fake it till you make it, it's act so you can become it. Okay? Acting in accordance with the man who's already winning. Because if somebody, put it this way, if somebody put a gun to your head and said, hey dude, be confident, pretend to be confident right now, you would by default be a confident person. Why? Because you are mimicking the behaviors of a confident person, right? So it's already there. And a lot of times I've found confidence is a choice. It's got nothing to do with competency. If you watch that film, Catch Me If You Can, with Leonardo DiCaprio, that guy was like the ultimate con artist, but he convinced himself, right? And a lot of it is psychological. It's psychological warfare, right? You might think at the moment, you're not good enough, you're not attractive enough, you're not fuckable enough. All those things might be true, right? I wasn't the finished product 5 years ago. I had a lot of work to do. But the thing for me is not who you are today, it's who do you want to become? And then when you've got that idea in mind, you just make your actions align with your ambitions, using daytime cold approach as a springboard to get you there. But don't take years to do those first 100 approaches. Right? This is what we do with my coaching. Like wherever you are in the world, maybe not Islamabad, but hey, might be nice during the summer. We install my coaching team into your home city, one-on-one, in-person coaching. You get pushed into over 100 approaches in 3 days. So approach anxiety, hesitation, self-doubt, all of that just dissolves. And then what is left is a version of you that you've always been, but maybe you just lack the support, the permission, or the accountability. But that in-person coaching, that's just the start of everything. You then become a member of the Entourage for at least 12 months is what I advise guys. If you're going to join the Entourage, join for at least 12 months because it's a process, right? You're not going to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu in a couple of days. But the in-person coaching, that's your training. Everything is captured on camera. Doesn't go onto YouTube without your permission if you want to inspire other guys. Maybe you want to even create your own cold approach content. Like maybe you want to get yourself on camera and one day you want to use that content to inspire other people. Do what you want with it, dude. The footage is yours to keep forever. I then watch your footage, I review it back with you, I give you my feedback. So effectively, you're getting upwards of 30 different coaching experiences in one. You get coached by me, you get coached by Daniel in person, in the field. He's mic'd up so you can listen to everything that you're saying, give you feedback on your conversations, and then you get trained by the rest of our guys in the entourage. Again, click the first link below this video, listen to the testimonials. Don't apply to work with me until you actually understand the value that is being given to our clients, right? You can send me a DM as well. If you've got any questions about the program, you might not want to hop on a call. I get it, you might be a busy guy. Just send me a DM on Instagram, Christian Casanova Dating. Like I say, the whole goal for 2026 is just to monopolize the fuck out of this entire industry, right? Just essentially just chop the heads out of all of these bullshit operators. Because I think this is where the dating game will shift in 2026 as well. I think the real meta will be proof, will be testimonials. Because anybody can get on camera and be like, oh yeah, I'm a dating coach. How to get a girl's phone number. It's like, show me then, right? Show me how you do it. Yeah, I've got hundreds of in-field conversations on this channel, client reviews, client testimonials, client transformation series. Really the reason why people don't get coached is because they don't trust themselves. They have these low frequency fears like, oh, but it might not work for me. It works as long as you do, right? The reason why you don't think it will work is because you don't trust yourself, right? This is why I used to be shit scared to invest into myself as well. It wasn't about the coach, it wasn't about the program, it wasn't about the experience. It's what if I invest and it doesn't work and then I feel sad? When you invest money, dude, you make it fucking work. You burn the boats, right? This is where healthy pressure kicks into play. And also, I think one more thing I'd mention as well. A lot of guys these days, they're operating in a scarcity mindset, right? The relationship you need to have with money, and this has just been learned through many years of trial and error, is whatever you spend, you will make back, right? Whatever you spend, you'll make back. This is the paradigm shift that I was going through. Like when I first started investing into myself, I'm like, oh fuck, like what if I get scammed? What if I lose money? It's like, well, it either works or I've got a funny fucking story. That's the same mindset you want to have when you're cold approaching as well. It's like, this is either going to go well or I'm going to have a funny story. Yeah, especially for those first 100 approaches. But yeah, the days of being this low value loser who's got a shit Instagram profile, nothing going on in his life, dude, all those days are gone. Like if you are one of these low value retards who still thinks it's 2008, just get the fuck off this channel. It's not for you, dude. This really isn't for you. Okay, this channel, everything that I'm doing, it's to attract high-level guys who are doing well in life. They know that they're capable of more. Maybe you're building a business which is stagnating. Maybe you haven't got your business off the ground yet. Maybe you are still working a 9 to 5. You've got ambitions to be an entrepreneur and travel the world and live an international lifestyle. I get it, yeah? This is where I was 5 years ago. Just go back and watch the oldest videos on my channel and you can see my starting point, okay? We all start off somewhere. The reason why I love Daytime Cold Approach so much is it holds a mirror up to who you are as a man, yeah? Because when you put yourself out there and you get a lot of undesirable feedback, you realize you're not as fuckable as you thought you were. You realize that everybody gets rejected. You put yourself out there time and time again. You get phone numbers that flake, you have dates that don't convert, you have weird reactions from girls, you question your own self-worth, you think to yourself, fuck, am I just fundamentally unlovable? 6 months into my journey, I started getting coached by the head coach of the entourage, Daniel, because I understood after a while, first of all, I was fucking lonely. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna pay this guy, not just to be my coach, but it'd be nice to have a friend as well. So that's how that relationship started. I've effectively been getting coached by Daniel for the past 5 years now. I get filmed with him in London or wherever else that we go, Amsterdam, Lisbon, where else have we been to? Where else have we filmed at? Oslo. Well, Oslo was a tough training ground, but it was useful. So yeah, I get this recurring filming because being able to watch myself back from a third person perspective, that's what really accelerates everything for me. I think when I first started publishing my in-field footage, I got lots of feedback. Guys told me that I was ugly, guys told me that my conversations were shit, guys told me that I was dressed terribly. All that was feedback, but until you get that feedback, you don't know what you don't know. So yeah, when Rentaro had his in-person coaching with Daniel, everything got magnified, right? He could clearly see where he was going wrong. He could clearly see his body language. He could listen back to his tonality. He could see how long his conversations were actually lasting for, not just eyeballing it, not just being like, oh yeah, I spoke with that girl for 8 minutes, when really you're in there for fucking 40 seconds. So you need feedback, dude. With any skill that you want to become proficient at, whether it's learning a language, learning a martial art, daytime cold approach, you find people who've got the skill that you want, you invest your money to get there faster. That's how you turn decades into days. So yeah, if you've been offended by any of the things that I've said, if you're like, oh, you're just trying to sell your services online, it's like, newsflash, motherfucker. Everybody who makes content online is trying to sell you something to some capacity. But the way that I see it, selling is serving, right? If you imagine a guy who is starving for food, if I've got a lump of steak in my van, then fuck it, I'm going to sell it to him, right? Because he needs it. So you're in the mindset at the moment that selling is wrong, that people who make money online are scammers. That's why you're broke, dude. That's why you're a loser. Again, this is where I was 5 years ago, but I didn't like my reality. And I didn't like to see people who were further ahead than me at the start because it triggered me. It's the whole people want to see you do well, they don't want to see you do better than them because it holds a mirror up to who they could have been. Really, my coaching is not for everybody. The Entourage is not for everybody. The Entourage is for artists, creatives, visionaries, world builders, entrepreneurs, athletes, business owners, guys who are doing well in life, but guys who want to connect with other like-minded guys who want to get connected with me, travel the world with me, get coached by my team, becoming elite at cold approach, so dating is no longer an issue, right? If you want to live a rockstar dating life and have dates on demand with wife-worthy women, we can do that for you. But that's not the real success for me. The real success for my clients isn't the dating success, it's who they become through the process, the self-limiting beliefs, the bullshit that they uncover, the confidence that spills over into their professional life, their relationships with their family members. This is why this is the most aggressive form of self-development on the planet. But yeah, if you're a low-life loser, if you're a retard, if you've got zero value to offer these women, then do me a massive favor, unsubscribe from this channel because I'm certainly not the guy for you. But yeah, if you're a guy who actually is serious and you're a guy who wants to take cold approach to an elite level, you want to dominate the dating game in 2026, have more high-quality options than you know what to do with, and just live an abundant lifestyle. Because abundance isn't always having, it's knowing you can have. All right, and I think when you unlock a skill like daytime cold approach, you surround yourself with the right people, things change, dude. You know, the opportunities that it opens up is incredible. So yeah, what I would say is click the first link below this video. It's not a book a call to work with me link. It's my testimonials page. For me, evidence does have the loudest voice. So before you even consider working with me, joining the Entourage, having this in-person one-on-one coaching experience potentially delivered in your home city, so you don't even have to hop on a flight, you lazy fuck, then just see if you think that you fit into what we're building here. All right? Because the Entourage, it's not for everybody, but for the guys who it is for, you just know it. Like, you just know it in yourself. You feel the pull, right? So yeah, first link below this video, listen to my testimonials, see if it is the right fit for you. If it's not, no fucking problem, dude. Just find some other guy online that you resonate with. But yeah, if the Entourage does resonate with you, then you probably know you should be inside. You probably know you should have been inside a couple of weeks ago, but whatever reason, maybe hesitation held you back, fuck knows. But yeah, listen to the testimonials. And yeah, if you don't like me, awesome. Leave a comment underneath. Tell me why I'm shit. Unsubscribe. Feel free to dislike this live stream as well and send me a nasty DM on Instagram if you've got the balls for it. All right.